had an experience with the Russian trawler. They caught her in their fishnets and discovered that she wasn't a natural blonde. Please welcome Maryanne Martini.
Oh my gosh, it's so great to be here for Gay Comedy Night. It's next month? Oh my God, I am a blonde and I guess I do get mixed up a lot. But you know, I'll bet I'm not as mixed up as some of you right about now. But this good-looking guy down here was looking at me when I came up on stage. And I'll bet he was thinking, Maryanne, you're kind of sexy for a chubby biker chick. And then I started talking. And you realize suddenly that my voice doesn't exactly match my hair and makeup? Okay, then my shoulders are a little too broad. All right, there's enough confusion in the world. Let's get it out right now. I used to be an Olympic weightlifter. I trained for 20 years and went to 3 Olympic trials, and I never did make the team. But don't you know that's what girls like me did when they were screwed up boys a long time ago? I did everything I could do just to be macho, and look how that worked out. When I was a little guy, we didn't have terms like transgendered or gender dysphoria. All we ever had was, oh, don't worry, he'll grow out of it. Well, when I was ready to start first grade, my dad came to me and said, Maryanne, you are not a girl. Take off that dress. You are a boy. Your name is David. Put on your corduroys and a plaid shirt and go to school now as a boy. And so first grade, first day was actually great. My teacher asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up. I told her a mommy. She sent a letter home to my parents, and my dad just said, oh, don't worry, he'll grow out of it. So it's really kind of goes from there. But from those days on, I had to go to school every day as a boy, even though I still felt like a girl inside. But then I discovered I was a lesbian. I love girls, still do. So one day after school, I brought my girlfriend home while my mom was at work, and we were doing it on the sofa. Oh yeah, you know, my mom came home early. She just screamed, oh my God, I'm going to call your dad. And all I heard her say was, honey, he grew out of it. About that time, I decided I better go into the closet and hide my girl stuff. I took the cover off the bottom of that sofa, and while I was stuffing my girl things up in there, my dad's porn collection fell out. Good spot, huh? Well, a few days later, we were in the TV room, and all of a sudden, my mom came storming in the room. She had fire in her eyes. She had porn in one hand and bras and panties in the other, and she just screamed, whose are these? They're Dad's. But don't worry, Mom. I think he's going to grow out of it. You know, I even turned out for football, but I was too slow and way too small. Besides, all those big hunky football players, all they ever wanted from me was free blowjobs. Well, I'm a lot older, and I'm a lot smarter now. And these lips, they're by Chanel. And if any of those football players are out here tonight, you know it right now. These lips are going to cost you $100 each. Well, then I found a safe sport. I took up bowling. I joined a girls' bowling team. The only place I could wear those cute little pink and white shoes and carry around a big shiny pink ball, and nobody cared. Bowling, where you can eat nachos and pizza and drink beer in between every turn. I started out at 150. After a while, I was up to 250. I was so fat, I couldn't get my score over 135. You know, there's a lot of people that have never met a girl like me before. And when they do, they always ask a lot of questions like, Maryanne, you're pretty convincing as a woman. How long have you been doing this? 67 years. I am 67 years old. And thank you, that's sweet, thank you. I get a lot of free drinks when I get people to bet that they can't guess my age. And just to prove it, I carry my Medicare card in my purse all the time. I do my own hair and makeup. I do, and this is my hair. I paid $200 for it. You know, a gentleman came up to me the other day, and he said, Maryanne, are you one of them women trapped in a male body? Do I look trapped to any of you? No. And yes, I do use the ladies' room. I do. Can you imagine what would happen to me if I used the men's room? And the last time I did, fortunately there was nobody in there, but as I was walking out, a really good-looking man came in the door. And he apologized and said, excuse me, and turned to the other door. And a woman came out of that door. I think he's still confused. You know, it's hard to admit, but I still have most of my male parts. I know, what I don't have, I had made into the most fabulous little coin purse with a Harley Davidson plate. The other night, a really cute little old lady, older than me, came up to me and looked at me up one side and down the other. And she said, Maryanne, where do you put those male parts? They're tucked and hidden away just like a Christmas present. She smiled and looked back at me and said, my husband would never hide a Christmas present like that for me. And that's one gift, it'll never get re-gifted. You know, I have to admit, now that you know how old I am, I live in an over 55 active adult community. But when people ask me where I live, I just say, oh, I live in the Loop. The Loop, it's an acronym, L-O-O-P. It stands for the Land of Old People. And it was a trip from the very first day. I went up to the recreation center, you know, to look around, and there's a beautiful pool. But right next to it is a humongous hot tub. It holds 100 people. And right in front of it, there's a sign. It says, children in diapers are not allowed in the hot tub. Well, I don't know about any of you, but I'd rather be in a hot tub with children in diapers than 100 seniors without them. And then I went into the clubhouse, where all the clubs are, and I was shocked and surprised and excited. Up on the wall, there are big letters, L, G, B, T. Clubs meet here on Wednesday. Oh my God, lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender clubs, just for me. Wednesday, I get up there as fast as I can. I burst through the door. And underneath the L, it says lunch club meets here. Under the G, it says golf club. Under the B, bocce ball. And I'm thinking, what the fuck is bocce ball anyway? I still don't know. And T, of course, was tennis club. So I joined lunch club. Because frankly, for the last few years, being around balls really makes me nervous. In lunch club, I made new friends. My friend Marilyn, oh my gosh, as soon as I met her, she grabbed my hand, looked at my wedding rings, and, Maryanne, you're married. Are you married to a man? Or are you married to a woman? Marilyn, I'm married to the most wonderful woman in the world, Marilyn blushed and grinned and belted out, "Then you're a lesbian just like me." I said, "Well, not exactly, Marilyn. I'll never need a strap-on." You all know what that is? And my buddy Steve, he's 60, he's retired and 60-something. He decided he wants to go back to work. So one day I get a phone call. "Maryanne, this is Steve. I'm on a job interview and I need your help. How soon after you smoke pot before you can pass a drug test?"
72 hours.
"I'm not exactly sure, Steve, but try this. This will work. Pee in a cup and try and set it on fire." "Maryanne, what will that prove?" "Steve, if you do it, it proves you're still stoned. And honey, you can't take that test." He didn't take the test. You know, it took me quite a few decades, but I finally figured out those high school class reunions. You go to your 10th reunion just to see which girl and which guy is hot, right? You go to your 20th to see who's rich and who's out of the closet. Well, if you live long enough, skip the 30th and 40th and just go right to your 50th reunion. Because there you go to find out who's died, who's alive, and who's available. My 50th high school reunion is coming up next spring. And the guy that's in charge of that committee called a guy he remembered going to high school with and asked me if I wanted to be in charge of entertainment. Oh, I guess I would do it. Oh, yes! And then when it comes time to give out those prizes, you know, which girl looks the best, which guy looks the best, and who's changed the most? You're right, I'm going to win all three of them. Thank you, you've been a great audience. I'm Maryanne. It's been a pleasure.